Hello, everyone. Welcome to the latest CDA Live setup session. I'm Rob, I'm the engineer today, and we're working on the BMW M4 GT3 at Oulton Park. I've got Luca driving with me, so let's get started.
Sounds good to me. Let's go.
Okay, so if you just do a few laps, we'll get an idea of what the setup's doing, and we'll go from there.
Okay. Right. Well, initial impressions are actually really good.
Well, that's a good start.
Yes. One thing, if I'm being nitpicky, I'd say one thing I'm missing is a bit of mid-corner rotation,
Okay,
and
that's not.
particularly lower speeds.
Hmm.
And the the corner where it's the most noticeable, which could also be just bottoming out or something, is the hairpin coming up. I forgot the name of it.
This one here.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, there is a slight bit of bottoming on the outside
Okay.
edge of the car, which I think is a mix of the camber and the way the car's set up. So is that your main understeer corner, as it were?
Yes.
Okay.
There's also elsewhere, like um, slower corners. It feels like it lacks quite a bit of rotation, but then faster corners, it's still there, but not as what's the word I'm looking for? Not as noticeable, I suppose.
Hmm.
Okay, I reckon I can get through corners fine for the most part.
Okay, that's no problem. And kind of initial entry and on exits, the balance of the car's okay?
Yeah, just yeah.
What's the response of the car like with changes of direction?
Hmm. Like the quick direction changes.
Yeah.
Um, that may be a bit on the lazy side, but it's not. I don't think it needs a big tweak to get rid of these issues. Or maybe I'm wrong, but just thinking out loud. Like it feels a bit lazy, um, maybe on quick direction changes, yeah, and then mid corner understeer, but otherwise it's pretty good.
Okay. I
I'll
think I know
just
what.
I'll do the next couple of chicanes just to kind of see if I'm onto something
Yep,
or if
no,
it's all
that's
in
no
my head.
problem.
Yeah, this lazy is probably the best way to put it. Like you turn in, but the front just kind of refuses to rotate.
Hmm. And you've got no issues with traction at all.
No,
Okay, I think I know
uh,
what I might
probably
try.
traction on power or just overall.
Uh, a bit of both.
Um, I mean, overall it's pretty good. On power, it might be, I won't say loose, but um, it kind of gets the rotation back in it. Like I reckon if it had more rotation on power, it would start sliding.
Okay. What I want to try then, can we?
Hmm.
It may ruin the traction, but I want to just give it a go because it may be that this is a nice, simple fix.
Sure.
Can we try increasing the rear anti-roll bar by one click?
Okay, got it.
That should hopefully give a bit more rotation and speed up the response a little bit.
Hmm.
Do you want to try just that change and see if that makes a difference?
Sure. I was thinking it would probably be a change up front, but you're the engineer.
Yeah,
I will
it
trust you.
might be. But looking at the ratio of how the car's balanced at the moment and the fact that it's lazy in response as well, I'm just wondering whether this might do the trick instead.
Okay.
I also might adjust the bump stop rates to help with the understeer in this hairpin if we still have the issue.
All right. Okay.
If you do find that the traction has degraded too much, let me know and we'll try something else as well.
Yep. Will do.
the car more nervous through there, or just a miscalculation?
Miscalculation probably.
Okay. Just monitor that next time you're going through, just to see whether it is something that we've done to the setup.
Yep, will do. So I feel like the roll bar did help, but it didn't quite get rid of the problem. Like, it's a bit funny. It feels like it'll turn in, like on entry, but then the front will wash out. However, like mid to exit now, it'll rotate nicely.
Okay.
So it kind of just moved the problem more towards like the entry to mid part.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
Yep. No, that makes sense. I'll just see what we can do there. How is it now feeling in that hairpin? Are you still getting the understeer as it compresses?
Yep. It's better, but that's still like the same thing. Turns in, then starts washing out a bit, but then mid to exit-ish, it's better. Still, I reckon it could be better still.
I might throw a couple of changes at it at once from the next bit, just to try and get a couple of things working together.
I'll just finish this up.
Yep, no problem. So, is the very initial bite as you turn in, as it were, quite good?
Yeah.
Or could that be improved?
I mean, possibly it could improve. It's kind of hard to tell because, like, it bites, but then, like I said, washes off. So I'm not sure if it's just biting too much already, or it could. Words are hard. Yeah, I reckon first I'd rather try to get rid of that, like, still mid-ish corner understeer, and then see what the front does on the entry.
Okay, let's try then. Can we try on the front bump stop rate increasing by 3 clicks?
Yes, we can.
And then in the damper settings, can we go down by 2 on the front bump and up by 2 on the rear rebound?
Okay.
and just see if that's improved it. It'd be interesting to see whether that's improved it or made it worse.
Only one way to find out.
Yep, got to do those laps. What are the initial impressions on that one?
I'm trying to, like, put my finger on it. was it's a bit odd. It rotates now nicely mid-corner. It did help. But I can't quite decide if it just moved the whole thing even more towards entry now. To the point where it bites so well now that it might slightly over-rotate on entry.
Okay.
At least that's the couple instances I had throughout a few corners, but
that might be the rear rebound setting doing that. So we can always tweak that back and see if that makes a difference.
I mean, as I do laps, like the previous lap was better, and now again I reckon it feels pretty nice this lap as well. So I'm not sure if it's just the matter of the tires warming up.
Maybe. Do a couple more and see how it reacts. And see what you need. Just to take a look at the front through this hairpin and see if it's still bottoming out.
Doesn't feel like it.
Nope, it looked good to me. I think it's close, but it's not too close.
It's not. Yeah, it's not close enough. Oh, that one was.
Might mean as well we've got a little bit of leeway in that front pump stop stiffness if we need to alleviate the rotation a little bit.
Maybe it'd be nice to have a tiny bit more stability on entry, but like really just the slightest margin. Because it feels, for the most part, it feels really good. And it's just a couple of times maybe just over-rotates a tiny bit.
Okay.
So like if there's like a very small change we can make, I want to see how that would go.
Yep. No, that's too hard. What I'll probably do then is I'll revert the rear rebound damper back to where it originally was.
Okay.
And see whether that makes enough of a difference. Might just be now that we've got the increased roll bar and the rebound damper that we're just shifting the weight a little bit too quickly. Which also might explain why you've got the good turn in at the start and then it washes out slightly.
Could be.
What's the balance like on power?
Nice. I like it.
Okay.
I can confidently get in the power and not need to worry about it.
If it had a hint more understeer on power, would that be a problem?
I think that should be okay. Or is that a potential, words are hard. Potential compromise, there we go.
Yeah.
Okay, you know what? Let's try it.
I'm thinking of playing with both sets of rebound dampers. Yeah, if we take one click out of the rear rebound damper
Okay.
and 2 clicks out of the front one.
Okay. Front rebound, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Try that. If that feels much better for the turn-in, but we're a little bit too understeery on entry, we can always maybe adjust the rear bump stop range slightly.
Okay.
But of course, that's will be traction dependent. How's this feeling now?
Not too big of a fan. I mean, okay, no, let's pause. It's not bad. It feels pretty safe. As
Okay.
in,
I mean, you went faster, so
I did, yes, but it feels a bit safe. AKA, as it's still lacking rotation again.
okay. That's no problem.
However, I think like the slightly safer approach on entry is not a bad thing. So
Would you
maybe,
say that the balance is more consistent throughout the corner from entry to exit now?
yes.
Okay.
However, it feels that little bit more limited, so it kind of doesn't feel as rotaty on throttle, or just like the on throttle or the faster corners in particular.
Okay, that's not a
That
problem.
that would be what the double right in sector 3.
Yep.
Turn 2, is it? Or 3? The long left downhill. I need to learn my corners.
Yes, this is one.
Yes.
The next one may or may not be a corner depending on who you ask.
Yeah, that's why I'm confused.
But it has a curb, so we'll call it turn 2 and we'll make this turn
Okay,
3.
so this is 3. Right, in that case it's turn 3 that it's also lacking rotation mid to exit and on throttle.
Yep, that's no problem. I was expecting that might end up being the case with the front rebound change, so I may change. I think I'll do a rear bump stop range change. That should hopefully bring that back to where it was.
Sure, I was thinking similar way.
Yep, it may compromise traction a little, but we'll see how it goes. Just make a note of the changes we made here. Yeah, so I'm thinking I'd rather go drastic and then work our way back. So I'm thinking if we go down 4 clicks.
On the rear bump stop range.
On the rear bump stop range, yep.
Okay.
So 4 clicks less. And that should hopefully do what it needs to. I don't really want to play with the rate, because if we get it too hard, it can cause some traction issues. So, yeah, give that a try.
Well, that's okay.
We'll do baby steps rather than throwing the kitchen sink in it.
Arguably the smarter approach.
That's quite rare for me, that smart approach.
And you've worked with me enough to know I'm not really leaning that way usually as well.
Well, maybe today, for the live stream, we'll find a new technique.
For the people, we're being reasonable.
Premiering our new technique. There we go. Interestingly, just over the tyres are flat, so it still make a bit of a difference on this lap. But there was still a spark out the back of the car around their hairpin. But from the front, it's clearing. I'm not sure that's just a graphical thing. I'll check the telemetry in a little bit, maybe. But if it's not upsetting the car at all, then it's not really a problem.
I'll pay attention to it. So far, it didn't feel like it was an issue.
Okay. Well, have fun in these next few laps. Let's see if we can get another 10th of our lap time.
Is that what we're aiming for?
Preferably, yeah. Okay. I mean, if you can take 6 tenths off, that would be lovely. But a 10th would be acceptable. Yeah, there was no spark through the hairpin that time, so I think it's just the low tyre pressures on the first lap.
Okay. Felt fine as well. That lap didn't count.
You just got the second wrong. It was 30 something. A 30 something .2, we'll accept that.
Yes, that sounds like good logic to me too.
Is it
3x.2.
That's the one. Is it feeling a bit better through turn 3 now?
Yes.
Okay. Any problems with traction?
So far, no.
Okay. If you need more rotation, we can always shorten that bump stop a little bit more as well, if that's the case.
Okay.
Shall we pretend this lap doesn't exist as well?
Yeah, I'm not sure why I'm struggling through the chicanes.
Could be to do with the rear bump stop.
I mean, in a way it would make sense, but at the same time we didn't make that drastic of a change.
No, but if we were near the threshold of the limit before, even a minor change is going to affect it.
Suppose fair point. I'll give it one more lap, see if it was really just me or is it the car.
Okay. If not, we might try a compromise between the bump stop ranges and the rebound dampers.
Okay. I'm still not quite convinced if it's me or the setup changes, but I reckon it was better before, if it is that.
Okay. What we'll try then is something in between the two. So
Okay.
if you can increase the rear bump stop range by 2 clicks
Yep.
and add 1 click back onto the front rebound damper
Mm-hmm.
and see how that feels. So that should be somewhere in between what it was before and what it is now, hopefully.
Okay.
And if that doesn't work, then we can go back to the good but safe version we had
Okay.
and try a different idea. I won't ask whether you saved it or not. I have it here if we need it.
Okay. Yeah, I may not have it.
That's no problem.
Oh, it's definitely consistent.
Well, that's a good sign.
Mm-hmm.
From what I can see, it looks like it's got a bit of the sharpness back, but without the issues we're having on the curves.
Yeah, sounds about right.
I don't know if you'd agree, but sometimes it looks like maybe it's ever so slightly over-rotated at times on entry.
Not really.
No? Okay, that's good.
No.
Must just be where I'm looking at it from. In an ideal world, we'd be aiming for a 33.3 if we can, but obviously we've had the aero change on this car and the gear ratios change, so if we don't get there, it might just be the natural way the car sits nowadays. Or you could get within 2,000ths of it, you know. I'll count that.
Sounds like just my luck. For God's sake. Well,
It's consistent.
it's very consistent, despite tiny mistakes.
Yeah, I mean, you'd 1, 2, 3,
They're like, what, 5? Or even
5
6
laps. Yep, 5 laps did 1/10 of each other, or near enough. I think your
Yeah.
slowest lap was 0.125. And your
Oh,
fastest lap had none of the purple sectors. But it shows there's a good even spread. It wasn't just a one-off. So in theory,
I mean, I messed up sector 1 a bit that lap. So it would have been a point.
in theory, there's a 133.22 in there
In theory, yes.
if you took all the best sectors. But a consistent fast like that is better than there being 3-4 tenths between laps,
Mm-hmm.
in my opinion.
I mean, I agree. Like, I reckon that's like more presentable than, I don't know, a 0.2, but then a 0.5, 0.5.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we're looking at the current times we have from the other cars. We're within a tenth of everything else bar one car.
Mm-hmm.
And we're 6 tenths faster than one of the other cars.
Oh, wow.
So there's
Are
two
we?
outliers. Yep, there's two
Oh,
outlying cars, one 6 tenths faster, one 6 tenths slower. All the rest
interesting.
are within a tenth or on the same time.
So happy middle.
Yeah.
Okay.
We are
Cool.
becoming the average BMW driver.
Yeah. Wait,
But
there's my
maybe
blinkers.
not
What do you mean?
maybe not in real life terms.
Yeah, okay. I was about to argue on that.
Sorry to any BMW drivers out there. Okay, if you're able to send me your copy of that setup so I make sure I've got the right one and
Will do.
the telemetry we need for that stint, and then we'll make a start on the safer version of the setup.
Roger.
No, it's Robert, but
Hi,
I don't
Roger.
mind. You can call me Roger if you want.
Roderick. There we go.
Thank you very much. Just out of interest, is there any notes that you feel would be good to add for driving the track that we might add to the setup notes with this setup?
Hmm. I'll have a think
Yep, that's no problem.
to be sure.
I know we've been avoiding the curb in the right hand part of the
Yeah, the
first chicane.
curbs is what comes to mind. I'm thinking if there's anything else to add to it.
Hmm.
But yeah, the right hand curb on the first chicane. Although even then, you can get away with it if you hit it slightly, but it really just the smallest amount.
Yeah.
It's a lot worse on the second chicane though. Like that first curb on the right, it will unsettle the car pretty heavily.
Mm-hmm. I shall make some notes of that. Just putting everything in the right folders for myself. Bear with me.
No worries.
In the meantime, is there anything that you think the car needs for a safer version of the setup? Is there anything we need to focus on improving?
Hmm. Kind of difficult when like the setup you have already is pretty safe-ish.
Hmm.
Thinking.
If I
I mean,
If I phrase it a different way, if what can we do to give it a wider operating window?
that's a good way to put it. Hmm. I'm thinking maybe we brought down the rear bump stop range, didn't we?
Yeah.
Thinking maybe bring that back up a bit, a click or just back to 2.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
I'm wondering if is it worth softening that front rebound damping to make it a little less sharp on the entry in case someone's got a slightly more aggressive turning technique.
If it does affect the car in that way, like does it affect it heavily? Like if we change it by one click, for example, will it be a big change or
It would be a small change for one click,
okay,
but it would be
small
noticeable.
change? Yes, I think
Yeah.
small change would be good, but
Okay.
it's not because it's not far from being pretty safe already. Or well, I mean, I'm sure you can overdrive it, but uh, if you're within reason,
Hmm.
even for a more um
Heavy-handed driver.
heavy hand, yes, thank you. That's a good way to put it. Even then, I reckon it doesn't need much of a change to be
Okay.
still like drivable.
Okay. Well, if we take that rebound then down by one click,
Front one, right?
yep, front rebound down by one click. If we put
Mhm.
the front bump up by one click as well,
Okay.
and then maybe one, let's say two clicks on the rear bump stop range.
Okay.
Um,
Oh,
yeah,
no,
I
never mind.
what was it? What are you thinking?
No, never mind.
You
I,
know,
I, no, it's fine.
I'm
I
I'm
like
listening to my driver.
I like the range more. I was going to ask about bump stop rate, but I think the range will be better.
I think with the rate, that seems to affect the traction a lot more than the range does on this car.
Hmm.
So if we go too stiff, we might start getting snap over stiff on throttle, which is not
We
safe.
don't want, yes.
So it's probably better to leave it as it is.
Oh, okay.
Um, Yeah, there's some other things we can experiment with if we need to, but I know it's only a couple of small changes versus the fast setup, but it might be enough just to take the edge off. There's another thing I might want to
Okay.
try afterwards as well.
If this doesn't work, I'm guessing. I am curious now, what do you want to try?
It would depend how the car feels.
Okay.
I am considering adding slightly less rotation somehow, just to give it more stability.
Okay.
I know it's stable, but just additionally, as it were.
Trying to get it unsettled. So far, unsuccessful. Which is a good
Well,
thing.
that's good. Yep. As long as you're still making the corners.
I mean, I'm being ridiculous, to be fair.
Is that a change from normal?
Oh, okay, I didn't have to put that out on stream. Oh, it's planted. I'll give it that.
Is there much compromise to the lap time with it?
That's what I'm not sure about yet.
Okay.
The first couple of sectors seem okay.
Yeah, it usually seems quite good around here, and in sector 3 it seems to drop off slightly.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it was just me or is it the setup that had that big of an effect through sector 3.
Do a couple more laps and see what it does.
It's better.
Yep, much better.
It's the second chicane where it seems to lose a lot of time.
Okay. Yeah, I think response is probably slightly slower in the vehicle now with the settings change. So getting through that quick direction change is probably what's slowing it down a little bit. Because the first chicane isn't as fast a direction change, even though it's a tighter chicane in some ways. There's less direction to change.
Yeah.
Whereas the second chicane is much more 90-degree right into 90-degree left.
Okay, no, with a bit of a change in driving, it's not as bad. Just need to think a bit more on exit. I should say focus more on exit and it's fine.
That's good to hear. It's doing nice consistent laps again, which is good. little too excited on entry.
Open chicken wasn't too bad. This is the first one I messed up. Just went that little bit too wide. Ah, man, that would have easily been another 0.5.
Yep. We're still within a reasonable distance for the other lap times, though.
No, this was nice. Like I could not get it to like just snap out on me or anything.
Okay.
Sure,
That's good.
it's a bit more understeer, but like, I mean, I suppose that's kind of to be expected.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, we'll have a little bit less rotation in it if you normally go for stability. We can't have both, sadly. Is there
Or
anything else
can
you
you?
think?
Top 10
There may
questions
be a
time
way,
wasn't
but
answered.
we'll save that for the super special setups.
Okay. Subscribe now.
Yeah, if everyone subscribes twice, I shall try and make a setup that has ultimate stability and grip and rotation. Possibly without using any hacks.
Possibly.
You know, we may be able to bend the laws of physics. We'll see.
No, just sounds like every day.
So, are you happy with that for the safe version of the setup?
Yes.
Okay. So, same again. If you can send over a copy that you're using, so I don't end up
Will do.
misdoing anything. And also the telemetry.
Telemetry. There we go.
Thank you very much.
Let's set up and telemetry.
And then we need to go back to our good old racy setup.
Fist.
And steal the fuel out of it and see how fast it goes.
Okay.
Then we'll
Do
make,
I want to ask what are we aiming for?
we are aiming for a lap time.
Okay, yeah, figured that much.
And that lap time will be reasonably fast.
Okay, as it should be.
So once I have just sorted out this telemetry setup, I shall let you know what we're looking for.
Okay.
Let's that up. How's the car feeling?
That's all I could say.
That's not a noise I like to hear.
I know I'm not happy with it either, but
Okay.
I'll
Well,
finish the lap and think out loud.
the good news is you are in the right second. We are looking for a 132.
That's a very broad spectrum, right second. Wait, what are we looking for?
So, the two previous setups we've had have been a 2.4 and a 2.2. So, between 3 and 5 tenths off. But obviously, we've had the changes to the BMW since, I believe. So,
I mean, one thing I could say for sure, which unfortunately we cannot change, is I do not like the gearbox in this thing around here. It's not really been nice around most tracks. I got to try it out. But I'm afraid this is one of them as well.
you're right in between two gears most of the time.
Yeah.
Sometimes I think in this, lower can be better because of the turbo. You get the low down torque still. Well, relatively speaking.
That is true, but like it's hard to find like that like the point where you do shift down and where you just stay in gear. Because if you shift down for just a little bit, sure it might have that initial push, but you lose it as you shift up.
Yeah.
But yeah, other than the inevitable, unfortunately, I reckon it could use a bit more rotation on higher speed corners.
Okay,
So I'm
dokie.
thinking maybe more rake.
Yeah. How is it at lower speed corners?
Kinda, I wouldn't say lazy, but nothing special. Like, I mean, it could probably use some in lower speed as well, but high speed is where it's really noticeable.
And entries and exits?
It's okay, neutral. I mean, exit is on throttle, again, a bit on the almost slidey side, but it keeps its traction well.
Okay. Yeah, let's try then. Try 2 clicks on the rear right height increase. And a click on the rear rebound. Damper.
Up.
Up, yeah.
Yep.
And I'm wondering whether to go down on the bump stop range on the back, but if you're already on the edge of traction issues.
I might not want to do that for the sake of the bumps as well.
Okay.
Because that's one thing I noticed on the safe setup. Now that I think about it, the bumps felt a bit more consistent.
Okay.
And we didn't really. No, nothing else comes to mind other than bump stop range that could have really helped that.
Okay. Can we increase front toe by 5 clicks? If we just really make sure it turns
Yes.
in. There's no need for the tyres to last more than 3 laps. See what that does.
Mm-hmm. Oh man, had to mess with those two chicanes that little bit. I mean, to be honest, it feels pretty good. Like it did help. Um, helped higher corner rotation or higher speed corner rotation. Sorry, maybe still a bit of understeer slower corners.
Okie dokie.
But that's it. Like I can't think of any other fault.
Did you find it was having issues in that first chicane?
Um, I feel like it's just the approach, like over the curb.
Hmm. Can we try something? Can we go up 4 clicks on the rear fast bump?
4 clicks on the rear fast bump.
Just want to try and get a little bit more rotation on the curves.
Okay.
As for the low speed, how big of an issue is it?
Not really much of an issue. A little bit.
Okay.
Like it's in the levels of I don't mind it. I just wish it was there though.
Hmm. I was thinking it's worth changing roll bars?
Rob
Roll
lives.
blah blah blahs. Roll bars, but that might be a bit too much of a change. Can we try taking 2 clicks out the preload instead?
Sure.
If it becomes too nervous on entry, then we can always switch it back.
Hmm.
Yeah, just give those 2 little tweaks a try. See if that makes a difference.
I'm hoping I'm hoping we found the magic trick because I won't have or also because I'll have to run after this.
Sorry, Luke, could you repeat that?
Just saying I'm hoping we found like the magic trick we needed because I'll need to run after this.
Okay, it's no problem.
Come on, little Baymel. Be on our side.
I'll start pedaling from back here to give it a bit of a performance boost. Just wire me up to the turbocharger. Might also want to try a lower TC setting, maybe, if that's holding it back.
I think.
I don't know. If it's working, it's working. But
I mean, I know it seems high, but so far 8 just seemed like
it does work quite
the
well on hits.
magical number. Yeah.
It seems similar
work
to
everywhere.
the Aston Martin with the settings people use on there. Wrong curve.
Okay. Yeah, that was me.
Let's have a double check of the times.
We know what the delta was last time out, like between the race and quali.
Delta last time would have been a... Bear with me.
No rush.
1 second. So we were looking at a 32.4 ideally.
Right.
But then obviously you've got the variable of the driver as well. And the changes that we made to the car. So
It's mainly the changes to the car that's slightly worrying me. Like this is comparing to some of the other tracks, I'm surprised it still has more in it around here.
well, we're faster than the slowest car around here. According to previous data we have.
I mean, it shouldn't really be a benchmark, no, should it?
No, true. But then this is a tight, twisty track, and this is a long wheelbase vehicle, so it's
That
not
is also
really
true.
designed around a nimble car.
Ah, come on.
Did those changes help it or make it worse?
I like how it feels. I'm just struggling to get the time in.
Okie dokie. I'm wondering, may I try one more change?
Sure.
Okay, it's actually 2 changes, but there we go.
Okay.
Preload increased by 1 click,
Yeah.
and rear bump stop rate increased by 1 click.
Rare bun stop. Yes, that's
Yes,
the one.
the bum stop.
Boom stop.
Increased the torque
Rate
by 1 click.
one. Okay.
So I'm wondering if having such a open diff is giving issues with the TC, because you seem to be losing time on exits.
Sorry.
You seem to be losing time on the exits. So I'm wondering if the TC with the more open diff is causing the issue.
I can try less, but
We'll try it as it is for now, because we've made those changes
yeah.
now. And yeah, do a couple of laps. If it doesn't improve, maybe we can try slightly less TC. Yeah, so there's a 32.5 in there with the best sectors.
Yeah, I'm not surprised about that. I'm sure it can do at least 0.5 if not faster. Definitely has potential.
You must have taken that last right-hander too well on your previous fast lap. It's where all the time disappears.
Curse you, passed me. Man.
Like you say, the potential is there.
I mean, if it weren't for that last corner, which I totally wasn't thinking about while going through it, yeah, that would have been it.
Mm.
I know it's not quite on par to the all time, but like this, I realize having this gearbox just doesn't do this car any good.
Yeah, I think the changes have affected it quite a bit. I mean, we're within 2/10 of the original quality time,
Yeah, that's not bad.
so
It's
that's not bad given.
just slightly annoying because like it could do it. It feels nice. I like it. I really like how it feels. It's just getting that lap in.
That's no problem. Well, I'm happy to accept the 32.6. We know it can do more. We just can't quite get there today. But I think you've probably been
It's
up about
okay.
18 hours, haven't you?
It's okay. The customers can do it.
Yep.
I believe in them.
There's your challenge, people.
Alright,
Okay.
let me save everything.
Yep. If you can save it and send it, and upload the fast app from the 3 setups we've done as well for me. Thank you very much. And I think that is about everything as far as I can think of.
Yeah, I think that wraps it up.
Okay. Well, thank you very much for that session, Luca.
Thank you for helping me get through it.
That's no problem.
It was well, done better than expected, I'll be honest.
Well, that's good to hear.
Yeah.
Okay, well, that brings an end to this live setup session here at the Coach Dave channel. If you've enjoyed what you've seen, don't forget to like the video and subscribe for more. We have both iRacing and ACC setup subscriptions, so head over to CoachDaveAcademy.com for more details, or join the Discord, which is in the description below for more information. From me and from Luca, we'd just like to say have a great day, enjoy your racing, and we'll see you another time.
Bye.